Hi disciple, this is Jetsu, and if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those coming back, thank you for coming to my channel. As you know, on my channel I talk about God, His Son, His love for us, and His Son coming back. So today we're going to look at some scriptures, and we're going to read and see what Isaiah has to tell us, because Isaiah have a lot to tell us, and we can learn a lot from what Isaiah written, and apply to our daily life, because like I said, the Bible is the ultimate blueprint, and it has a lot of blueprint. And what's that mean? A lot of writings from different prophets and from Jesus' disciples, and so all of those writings of what happened back in ancient time, it applies to us today, and we can read, learn from it, and understand the warnings of the Bible, and understand what God, the life that God wants us to live. Though we know it's hard, but we don't have to say it, because God already know. God knows everything before, and so He knows it's not going to easy for us. And this is the reason why we read and we understand, and what Jesus went through, what His disciples, they also went through. So they all gone through a lot, and before Jesus went back to the Father. So these are the rules and regulation that is written in the blueprint, and we're gonna go by it today, and learn to apply it to our life, because it's not easy for all of us. So today we're going to look at Isaiah, and we're going to read in Isaiah chapter 1, reading from about 1 to about 9, or probably to verse 10, and see what Isaiah is saying. Because like I said, everything that was taught and warnings for those that in ancient time, it's applied to us today. Everything that was the warning they got is the warning for us today. Simple. It's applied to the entire world. So so let's read on in Isaiah chapter 1, reading from verse 1 to about verse 9. The vision of Isaiah, the son Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Azar, and Hezekiah, king of Judea. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken, and I have nourished and brought up children. So Isaiah is saying the Lord spoke to him, and the Lord is saying, I have nourished and brought up children. So God is talking about us, the children. They in Israel, Judah at that time, the children that He have nourished and He have brought up. So He is saying He have nourished them and brought them up. So these are the sign, the warnings He gave to Isaiah, to warn the people in Judah and Jerusalem at that time, that the Lord made you all, the Lord nourished you all, the Lord brought you all up. And what are you doing? Worshiping false God and doing whatever you guys want to do. So let's read on to verse 3 and see what he said. The ox knoweth his master, the ass his master crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. So he's saying the ox, the animals, all the animals, they know their masters. They know who are their masters, the animal. The ox know their master. All the animals, the fowls of the air, all the animals know who are their master. So how comes the man of God, the children of God, cannot know who is their master and don't respect their master? You know, have you ever seen your pet, your animals? You know, especially people go up on the farm, they have a lot of animals, and see all the animals so excited when they see them and love them and respect them. The animals, they love to see their master. They are very apt to see their master. So this is what God is saying. The ox, the cows, the goat, the chickens, they all know the master. They all run to you and love to see the master. Can't wait for the master to come back so they could see the master. Of course, the master is going to nourish them and feed them. And here God is saying, I brought them up, I nourished them, and they know it me not. So how comes? He's saying, how comes All the animals can know who their master, and we don't know who is our master. So let's read on to verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, and they are gone away backward. Which means, when they're in problem, they come to God. But now they gone backward, they turn back. When God helped them, they turn back. Just like us today. We in something and God help us. And then as soon as it's over, we gone backward. We turn back. We gone back to the world, the sinful world, the life we used to live. So it's all about give me from God. Here I am. Give me God, give me God. I'm in this problem. Give me. But as soon as you get it, you turn your back and you're gone away from God. So this is what Isaiah 4 is saying. A sinful nation, a people laden in iniquity and seed and evildoers and corrupted children. All corruption. So we gone backward. We turn backward after God help us. So let's read on. Why should he be stricken any more? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart fainted. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is fainted. Every head has a disease, it's saying. This is what it's saying. Every head has a disease. And every heart is sick. Sick in sin. Sick in evil thoughts. So the head is sick, the heart is sick. So we are sick with evil thoughts in sin. So let's read verse 5 again. Why should he be stricken any more? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart fainted. So we revolt more, stricken more in sin, and sin more. So we are sick in sin. Basically saying we are sick in sin. The head is sick, and the heart fainted from the evil thoughts and the evil doing that we are all committed. So let's read on. We are at verse 6. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wound and bruises and purifying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. So Isaiah is saying, in the same way a person is ill, the whole nation of Jerusalem is sickening sore, is ill. So he's speaking of Jerusalem like he's speaking about a person. The whole city is sick. So the same way a person is ill and sick, the whole city of Jerusalem and Judah is sick. So this is what he's saying. The whole city, the whole everything is sick. So let's read on to verse 7 and see what he says. Your country is desolated, your city are burned with fire, your lands stranger devour it in your present, and it is desolated as overthrown by stranger. So if you don't listen to God, your city is going to be desolated. Kind of like what the warning Jeremiah was giving, that the Babylonian is going to come. So Isaiah's warning, your city is going to be desolated. It's going to be it's stricken. No one is going to be there. It's going to be left desolated if you don't listen to God. And stranger is going to come and devour it. So this is what Isaiah 7 is saying. So let's read it one more time. Your country is desolated. Your cities are burned in fire. Your land stranger devour it in the present, and it is desolated and overthrown by stranger. So this is like the warning of Jeremiah was saying. So he's saying, this is going to happen to you. They're going to come and take you. Your city is going to be stricken. It's going to be devoured by stranger, which exactly what happened when the Babylonian came. The city desolated. Samaritan move in. Once they took them to Babylon, Babylon, the Samaritans move in to Jerusalem. They devour Jerusalem because the city was desolated. And all the Hebrew children, they went on to in captivity in Babylonian. So this is what Isaiah is saying. Your city is going to left desolated, and strangers going to devour your city. And exactly what happened to them. And we get the warning today. And my disciple, my eye watchers, it was a warning for them. And it goes for them and it goes for us. And a judgment is coming. And all of us should be scared. Me, you, all of us should be frightened about a judgment. And why we should be frightened, my fellow eye watchers, because disciples, because it happened before. Remember I said, if there's a one, there's always a two. So there was, a judgment came before, that's a one. And then a judgment is coming again, that's going to be a two. So we should be very scared and start shaping up. So, so let's read on to verse 8. Verse 8 is saying, and the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in the garden, and a cucumber as a besieged city. The daughter of Zion, so the daughter of Zion here is referring to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is left like a cottage, like an old shed, a whole hut, a house wasted, and a piece of land. So Jerusalem is left wasted like a cottage, like sometimes you pass and see a whole shed and a piece of land. So no one is there. So this is what verse 8 is saying. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden, of a cucumber as a besieged, which means nobody is there. So it's left wasted. The land is left like a cottage, old hut, and a piece of land. So it's wasted. So Isaiah is warning them, because he's getting all his information from God. So he's warning them that Jerusalem is going to be left desolated. This Jerusalem that you all carrying on with is going to be left desolated. Just like our world today, we all carrying on and behaving out of character. It's going to be left desolated. Only God will know what he's going to do, with the earth once his son returns. Because, like I said, my fellow eye watchers, disciples, we have to try. That's the only thing we can do. Try and try very hard. Because, like I said, we are tugging and pulling from every angle, every direction. And Jesus' disciples, they too was tugging and pulling from every direction. But they trod on and they stay on the narrow, rugged path. And they, prevailed at the end. So let's read on. So we are at verse 9. And what Isaiah said, except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So Isaiah is saying, except God left a remnant, which means remnant here is saying, except God left a few survivors, we all going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. We all going to left waste. It's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. No one on the land. Empty, desolated, destroyed. So, and except God left a remnant, a remnant to rebuild, and bring back the land, grow the crops and stuff. Except God left a remnant here represent, except God left a survivor. So, this is what Isaiah is saying. And like I said before, all the warnings they get back in ancient time, they got all the warning. Is applied to us today, and it's an ultimate warning to us today. So until then, my eye watchers, disciples, I just want to say, let us heed to all the warnings. Let us read our Bible so we understand our Bibles and understand God's words to us, because judgment is coming and it's approaching very fast on us. And the worst part about it, the good part about it, we know it's coming because we get the warning. But the sad part about it, we don't know when it's going to happen. It can happen any minute. So until then, my disciple, I just want to say, God first, man second. God first, man second. So if you like what you hear, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so whenever I upload anything else, you'll be first to hear. So until then, God bless you. Thank you.